They been on their ass, bitch, I'm on the rail. I wrap it, I bag it, I pack it for sale. Got feeling on speed out, I hit me to chill. I give it a thrill, I put it on film. Niggas facade, get a plot, that ain't real. Come to my section and flex, we can tell. I got a show and she dipping them nails. I'm flipping my L's, I know they can tell. I did it too major, they hit me for favors. Been him since the cable was cut in the cradle. What's up, only right that I do it. Colossal until I'm a boss, so they want me to fail. Look, we prevail. Tell them to point out who said it, they run it. Bitch, I'm on your tail. Know that they talking, they telling them tales. It's not how to tell, that shit for the sale.
Honestly, I know it's hard to believe, but you have to trust me. It's got maximum taste and zero sugar.
Stop playing games, wooden boy.
No, I'm a real boy.
Pepsi Max. Maximum taste, zero sugar. Try and believe.
What do you see here? Maybe history, or maybe it's the future.
Amarti mi consola. Amami ancora. Fallo dolcemente. Un anno e mezzo, un'ora.
Tonali plug-in hybrid, a new charge of sportiness.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round number 7 here in the Velocity Ultimate Masters Team Racing League. My name is, of course, Michael Edwards, going to be taking you through the action tonight, all on my own, unfortunately. It's been a bit of a mad one, obviously, a couple of power cuts here and there, but don't worry, guys, I will try to provide as much action as possible on my own here tonight. But yeah, coming here to the home of British motorsport is, of course, the Silverstone circuit, and what an iconic circuit that is. Of course, so many iconic corners. I mean, Copse, Stowe, Maggots, Beckett's is going to be absolutely incredible with the elite drivers that we have out here in the field here tonight. Well, looking at the teams, obviously, I have the wrong graphic. Oh, no. So it is Team Shizou in the Ferrari, not OP. So apologies for that. I do have the wrong graphic up. I can only apologize. But ET8 in the Mercedes, GL in the Red Bull, WOR in the Alfa Romeo, Neverlast Racing in the Williams, Aston Martin being represented by CPI, XE Sports in the McLarens, GT10 in the Alfa Tauris, IRT in the Haas F1 car, and TF10 in the Alpines. And looking at the results from last time out in Brazil, it is Ryan that did take the win for Neverlast Racing. Of course, Ghost King coming through in second place, and Kay Gatkowski for CPI completing the podium. Apologies for the stretchness of the standings, but here not much I could do with it other than stretch out like that. But I do apologize if it is a little bit of an issue for you guys. Rick for Shizou came in P4 with Gil for GL in P5. And P6 went to Henhide for WOR. CPI Fleddy came through in P7. P8 was IRT Smalley Balls. TF10's Enzo came through in P9. And XE Sports' Bark rounded out the top 10. And then, of course, outside the top 10, that is... Oh, I have used the exact same one. Oof, that is not good. That is not good at all. Yeah, outside the top 10, it was Paul in 11th, Luca in 12th, Chris in 13th, Quats in 14th, Zozo in 15th, 16th went the way of Dark, and Boyololo in 17th, Poison in 18th, Julian in 19th, and then Sasha was the final runner there in Brazil. But looking here tonight, of course, we are at the fantastic Silverstone circuit, the home of British motorsport. and qualifying is just about getting underway. So we're actually going to go ahead and jump on over to the circuit itself in just a moment's time as I give you a quick little rundown of the standings. So it is Nevertheless Racing that lead the way on 206 points with CPI Esports in second place now on 155. 135 points for ETA Esports with GL Esports team in fourth on 124. 108 points for X Esports in fifth with TF10 on 100 points in sixth. GT10 in seventh place on 95 points. 90 points there for WOR Esports in eighth. IRT in ninth on 66 points, and then Team Shizou, who made their debut last time out a fortnight ago, on 17 points in 10th place. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the action out on track, as we're starting to get some lap times coming in quick and fast. We are on board with Lifeboat here. It's going to take us on a full lap of the Silverstone circuit, so we're going to stay on board with Lifeboat for this one, as I believe he was just given the just giving a bit of a tow to his teammate, and now he's going to back off to get his lap time set and ready to go. So we're going to stay on board with the ETA driver as he comes through the Vale chicane, and there goes ETA Owen up there on provisional pole for tonight's race. But here we go now with Lifeboat now coming down the Hamilton Straight in towards turn number 1 at Abbey, and flat out through there into Farm. First braking zone of the circuit down at Village, turn number 3. Third gear, getting the car turned in absolutely lovely as we head into the loop, turn number 4. And now on the exit here for Entry onto the Wellington Straight. DRS wide open on the run down now in towards Brooklands. Looking for that 50-meter brake marker board down into 5th gear, down into 4th gear there as we go through Brooklands now in towards Luffield. All about traction coming out of this corner here, and Lifeboat there having great traction and getting a nice tow from his teammate up ahead as we go through Woodcut now down the National Pit Straight, heading into Cops Corner. Is it going to be flat out? Yes, it is. Flat out 8th gear there for Lifeboat as we head now in towards the infamous Maggots and Beckett's section as we go through Maggots now into Beckett's, as Quicktime for WOR there setting a provisional quicker time as we head through Chapel. DRS wide open once again as we run down the Hangar Straight in towards Stowe Corner. Once again looking at the curbs on the left hand side, and you see their Lifeboat there just getting dragged a little bit wide on the exit of Stowe, but now into the Vale chicane and through the club section. Lifeboat now going to be setting a lap time of a 25 flat, so puts himself into the top 10 nice and early on here in qualifying. As we have, who do we have on a lap right now? We have Quats, who's on an invalid lap. We have TF10 Kiki, who is currently on an out lap. So we will actually stay on board with Kiki for this lap. And yeah, we will stay on board with Kiki for GT10 as he flies down in towards the first couple of corners. And we're going to see how Kiki gets on here, breaking down in towards the Village. A little bit deeper than we saw from Lifeboat. That is definitely going to compromise him as he comes into the loop. And of course now in towards Entry, where the traction out of the loop is going to be so crucial for these guys to get a good launch down the Wellington Straight. Good overtaking opportunity down in towards Brooklands. Of course, you can go side by side through Brooklands and Luffield as long as you keep it clean. That is, and looks like Kiki going to get a little bit of a tow from Quads up ahead. So GT10 drivers working together here as we head down in towards Cops Corner. And that is beautifully done there by Kiki. And we head now into Maggots, Beckett and Chapel, and being this close to your teammate by here might just give a little bit of dirty air, which you don't really want. The understeer can be a little bit of a menace, but it's again a fantastic tow down in towards Stowe Corner as it's 6th gear, the gear of choice here for Kiki, and doesn't get dragged out as wide as Lifeboat did, so this could be a good lap from the GT10 driver as we come through the club chicane, the Vale chicane in towards the club section now as we come to the line, and it's going to be a 25.3, so Good enough for P17 at the time being. 10 minutes ago remaining in the session. We got Owen out there on an outlap as well. So we'll stay on board with Owen because I believe Owen will be the first man to really get a lap time on the board here. Yeah, of course, coming in tonight, obviously, Team Shazoo, their debut last time out in Brazil, and it was a successful debut as well, obviously getting a fantastic result. In terms of the chat, apparently what we're seeing is rain, rain, rain. I don't know if that is actually what is going to be the conditions in the race, or whether it's just what everyone's hoping for in the chat. Of course, it is Britain, and the chance of rain is very high around here. Just be glad that it's in England, not in Wales, because the chance of rain then is almost 100%. But yeah, on board with Owen now, as Owen is going to be able to get us on a lap momentarily, as we got a couple of drivers in behind jockeying for positions. But we're going to stay on board with Owen, currently on the front row as an Alpine there just swoops on by. So we're going to stay on board with ET8 Owen, obviously currently P2 in qualifying year, going to be looking to try and get himself on to a pole position for ET8 Esports. And of course, ET8 Esports doing well in the championship standings as it currently stands, so looking to continue that on through the remainder of the season. Owen now getting his lap underway, heading down in towards turn number 1 at Abbey, and now into turn number 2 at Farm. Breaking down now for turn number 3 at Village. Fourth gear, shifting down into third there for Owen as we go through the loop. And now through turn number 5 at Entree. Sorry, turn number 6 at Entree, I do apologise. DRS wide open down the Wellington Straight in towards Brooklands, marginally up in the first sector, which is good enough right now. As long as Owen can keep this lap time up, it's good enough right now to take pole position away from Krypton. It was, of course, for GL, I should say, yeah, GL Krypton. Of course, Game Attack still says WOR, but obviously he is part of the GL Esports team. Now through Maggots in towards Beckett's, and he's a good exit now through Chapel. Going to get a nice tow off his teammate. At 10th up in the middle sector is Owen, so this is looking like a very good lap here from the ETA driver as we head down in towards Stowe. Needs to not drift too far wide on the exit here and invalidate, and Owen does keep it absolutely perfectly within the track limits. Now through the Vale chicane goes ET8 Owen, and it's just snagged a little bit of that sausage curb. That has just slowed him down slightly, and that has cost him all the time in the final sector. And Owen there, I mean, did look like he was on for a good lap, but someone who was on for a good lap and has absolutely smashed it is the CPI man. It is Igor. Igor on provisional pole with a 27.6. Incredible stuff from a CPI man, and with Kigakowski just getting his lap underway. Let's see if we can get a CPI 1-2 here in qualifying as we come down in towards Village. But yeah, ETA Owen just losing it there, just touching that sausage curb, and that's just cost him all the time. And Shazoo Volakongan there with a 24.5. Team Shazoo responds, and in tremendous fashion as well, I might add, there with a 24.5 for Volakongan. Now, Team CPI working together as we head in towards Maggots and Beckett's. Of course, Igor moving out of the way there just before the approach in towards Maggots as we look to see that middle sector split. And Kigakowski at 10th up in the middle sector. This will be good enough to put him... it's borderline right now with with Igor's lap time. So we could be looking at a 2-3 right now from the CPI Esports drivers as we come through the fail chicane, the back end stepping out on Kikakowski as we come through to cross the line, and it's gonna be P3 for Kikakowski, but definitely knows that there's a bit more time there, especially in that fail chicane, the back end just stepping out slightly on Kikakowski, and that was enough to take quite a considerable amount of lap time off of his time. Lifeboat did improve on his lap. He's now on a 24.7, so in the mix, obviously right there, just ahead of his teammate ET8 Owen. We have Baki right now in the Alpine, and of course representing TF10. Skyny in P11, of course his teammate just slightly down the order, and I believe Baki is on a cooldown lap, so we'll come back on board with Baki at a later point as we got Jesla into the pits. I believe Kikakowski will be into the pits, same with Lifeboat as well. Baki should be into the pits as well. What about Seam? Seam definitely into the pits this lap, as we have Seeb also going to be into the pits this lap, and we have Quartz now coming through the middle sector split. Is he coming into the pits? Yes, he is. 100%. So all these guys now are going to be returning to the pit lane, and this is how things are looking in the session. It is Shazu's Volokongan currently on provisional pole with a 24.5, about a 10th ahead of CPI Igor, and then of course CPI having some backup there with Kikakowski there in P3. Jesla for X Esports currently in P4. And then, of course, we got GL's Krypton in P5. And we've got the ET8 pairing of Lifebout and Owen in 7th and 6th, respectively. And then, of course, we got TF10's Baki in 8th, GL's Johan in 9th, and Neverlast Racing's Sipala in P10. And, of course, outside the top 10, we have Skyny for TF10, Seam for X Esports, Seeb for IRT, Phil for IRT, Quartz for GT10, Henhide for WOR, Kanoof there for Neverlast Racing, and of course GT10's Kiki, the last man to set a lap time. Of course, two guys that haven't set lap time, Shazu Sasha and Darth FIFA. Of course, Team Shazu and WOR Esports representatives here tonight, as we got just under 3 minutes to go in the session. As we got the first group of drivers out on track right now, looking to get themselves a good run on their final laps. Of course, it's going to get very hectic with all these cars coming out of the pit lane very soon. I'm going to go on board with the car that is furthest ahead right now, and I believe that is Kiki, perhaps? No, not Kiki. Who is furthest ahead? It's Williams. I think it's Knuff. It is Knuff, and he's just allowed Igor to go. So we're going to go on board with Igor, of course, currently P2 in the session as it currently stands, looking to get himself onto pole position and take that pole position point for CPI. As we come through the club section to get the lap underway here, CPI Igor now running down in towards Abbey, flat out 8th gear there, maximum commitment from Igor as we go through farm and now breaking down in towards a village, and guess the car rotated absolutely, oh, big snap there on the exit of village, and that is Igor's lap completely gone here, but fortunately for Igor, I think he does have enough time that he can get around and get another lap in, but yeah, I mean, but arguably the teamwork that we was going to see from the CPI driver is not going to work out now, as yeah, Igor there just getting a big snap on the exit, and that was enough to just take him off course here. Obviously we have Neverlast Racing's Knuff and Owen currently on the lap, as Owen is slightly behind Knuff, so we'll go on board with Knuff here, who is coming through Cops Corner now and in towards Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. Maximum commitment over the curbs there from the Neverlast Racing driver as he comes through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel, and 3/10 up in the middle sector. This is what Knuff does need, but he needs a bit more in this final sector. Coming through Stowe now. Can the Neverlast Racing man get himself firmly inside the top 10? or will he be found wanting here in qualifying? Just under 30 seconds to go remaining in the session as Knuff now crosses the line. It's going to be a 24.7, puts himself up into P8, knocks his teammate out of the top 10. So we're going to go on board with Owen now, who's the next man to be crossing that line. And Owen now to the line. Is it going to be an improvement? It is. He's onto the front row for ET8 Owen. And now I believe there is a Red Bull on a flying lap, and that is, of course, Krypton for GL coming into the Vale chicane now. Third gear, the gear of choice for Krypton as he comes for the line. Is this going to be an improvement for Krypton? He just doesn't improve in the end. The checker flag has fallen. We have Volokongan on a lap. Volokongan a 10th down in the middle sector. As we come through Stowe. Does Volokongan have anything special to gain in the final sector? That is the big question coming through the Vale chicane now in towards Club. Round the final corner we go to the line, and it was an improvement in the final sector, but not enough to get himself where he needs to be. As we got Jesla up into P3, his teammate Sem there in behind, just moving up a places. We got Johan to the line. Invalid lap time there from Johan. As we have, I believe that is that an Alpine there moving up? I think it was. It was Baki moving up the order as we look to go on board with CPI's Kegakowski coming through the final chicane right now. And across the line you'll go. P4 just ahead of his teammate. As we look to see anyone else on the lap. Yes, Lifeboat on the lap coming through the final corner, and I believe that is Henhide just ahead, but Lifeboat there goes ahead of both of the CPI drivers. So a good qualifying session from ET8 here, puts himself up into P2 and P4 respectfully, but it is Shazu's Volokongan who takes pole position as Owen there comes into the pits to end the session. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. In Silverstone, it is Volokongan for Team Shazoo taking pole position. As we wait for the guys in the pit lane to retire from the session, we can run you through the order one more time, of course, in the main screen. And there we go. So it is Volokongan for Team Shazoo taking a pole position. And essentially is a Shazoo sandwich right now with one at the front and one at the back. But let's run you through the order one more time. It is Volokongan for Team Shazoo taking pole position with ET8's Owen joining him on the front row. XE Sports Jesla in P3 with ET8's Lifeboat in P4. Kegakowski and Igor complete a all CPI third row of the grid in P5 and P6. Baki in P7 with Krypton in P8. Knuff in P9, and of course Skyny in P10, completing the top 10 here for Silverstone. Outside the top 10 we have GL's Johan, XE Sports Seam, then we got Neverlast Racing's Sapala, then of course we got IRT's Phil, Henhide, Seeb, Quartz, Kiki, Sasha in 19th, and then of course we got Darth FIFA rounding out the field in P20 for WOR. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a pretty exciting qualifying session. I want to know what your guys' predictions are in the chat for the top three. I want to get as much engagement going on as possible. So let me know in the chat right now, what is your top three? The clouds don't appear to have much rain in them, so I don't think we're going to be seeing any rain. Potentially we could though towards the end of the race. You never know. It is Britain after all. But guys, let me know in the chat right now your top three. What is your predictions here for Silverstone round number 7 in Division 1? As we wait for the drivers to get their setups sorted and obviously their fuel amount tailored to perfection. Of course, we should be seeing a relatively easy one-stop around here. The question is, though, who is going to be able to get the undercut. Undercuts are usually pretty good around here, but at the same time, I've seen the overcuts work as well. So, I mean, it's one of those tracks that does go either way as we wait for the session to get underway. As we turn our attention to the chat. So we got Rishi in chat saying Jesla for the win, Vola in second, and Owen in third. An interesting top 3 prediction there from Rishi in chat. Let's see if it does come true for him as we continue to wait for the session to be underway. Hopefully we are not doing a lobby restart around this almost 5.9 kilometer circuit in length, and we will wait to see what strategies everyone is going to go with. Of course, I know that people do like to know what tires everyone's on, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that is how I'd generally stream for the most part, but I will try and keep it consistent. So I'll try to show tires when it is relevant. Obviously, show information when it is relevant as well. So you guys will get all of the information that you need. Also, it is a beautiful day here in Silverstone as we go to those 5 red lights. Lights are out and we are underway here in Silverstone. There's a good start there from Volokong and a good start there from Jesla. Looking to go around the outside into turn 1 on Owen. There's Lifeboat there is getting a little bit in the mix as well. Side by side with Kegakowski down in towards Village. Turn number 3 there. So, a little bit of contact there between Lifeboat and Jesla. Kegakowski looking to try and find a way through. Looks like it's the hard compound tyres on for these guys early on. As we all quickly have a look at the tyre strategies everyone has elected to go with. As Kegakowski down the inside in towards Brooklands. We'll have the outside for Luffield. Needs to find the better traction. Maybe look for a little bit of a switchback here for Kegakowski, but unable to get the traction that he does need. Baki in behind on fresh, soft tyres as he tries to use those soft tyres to good perfection early on as he tries to make his way up the order to the front of the field. But ETA a good start there as Lifeboat and Owen currently in second and third place. Jessa down into fourth. Needs to do well on those hard compound tyres to stay with the top 3. He cannot afford to drop away and out of DRS range. But look at this now. Owen around the outside will get the move done before the break-in in towards Stowe here on lap number 1. Is ETA currently in the lead, and I think that's a big snap, big moment there for Owen, and that almost caught these guys off guard there. I think Volokon there just slightly had a bit of had to react just slightly to Owen going very deep into Stowe, and Lifeboat equally having to react to that as well. Baki all over the back of Jesla here as we come through Abbey and Farms, going to look to the inside in towards Village. Oh, breaking the XE Sports driver down the inside goes Baki. Job done there, but look at that. Kegakowski's going to take advantage of this, tries to hang it all the way around the outside of the loop, and Kegakowski for CPI Esports going to try and outdrag the XE Sports driver down in towards Brooklands, and he does, and he's potentially on a little look down the inside in towards Baki, but no, covers off Jesla very well there does Kegakowski. As we got Knuff now in P7 on those soft tyres, as well as Igor there currently in P8. And look at that, you see Knuff getting a little bit of a snap on the exit, and that is not going to help his tyres whatsoever early on in this race. Moving up towards the front of the field. In fact, no, we're going to move down towards the battle for P11 because Sasha all over the back of Skyme here for P11 in this race, and of course that could open things up for a big result here for Team Shazoo if Sasha can make this soft tyres work for him and get himself up the order. So right now, It is a bit of a train going on all the way down to P19 as we got Sapala there down the order in P17 making a move on seam, so I think it's not a good start there for Sapala. Look at Darth FIFA around the outside of quads into the Vale chicane as it's still wheel to wheel, side by side, and oh, very close. As yeah, we do have a little bit of lag in the lobby, unfortunately, but we will persevere as Sasha now down the inside in towards Village, gets a job done on Skyny, and it is a job done for the Shazoo driver. Up into P11 now goes Shazoo's Sasha. Back up towards the front. Volokongan just happy to sit in behind ET8 going right now. It is an ET8 sandwich with a Shazoo filling right now in the top 3. As we are here on lap 3 of 26 around the fantastic Silverstone circuit, the home of British motorsport. Of course, as we head down the national straight with the leaders in towards Cops Corner. And now, this is where we're going to start to see some moves happen. DRS now activated. You see the clouds looking pretty ominous in the distance. A couple of grey clouds out there. Will we see any rain later on in this race? That is going to be the big question. But with DRS open now for Volokongan, you see Baki in the background getting moved down on Lifeboat. Both ETA drivers are going to be overtaken before the break-in towards Stowe. And that is job done for not only Volokongan but also for Baki as well. Up into P3 now goes the TF10 driver. Right now also we got Knuff on those soft tyres trying to make his way through, and Baki with the fastest lap of the race and looking like he is on a charge right now. Of course those soft tyres will wear out before everyone else is, so he needs to make these moves count nice and early, and then hope the strategy gods help him out here in terms of getting that undercut to work and getting a big enough gap that by the time his tyres go off by the end of this race, he will have enough of a gap that he can somehow take a victory here in Silverstone. Knuff not getting quite close enough here, but on board with Sasha, who's absolutely pushing Krypton there through Booklands and obviously now in towards left field. All about the traction here as we look on the rear wing of the Red Bull, looking at that Scuderia Ferrari drawing in closer, and we'll have a look down the inside in towards Corbs. This is fantastic stuff there. Sasha down the inside in towards Cobb's corner, gets the move done. Small bit of contact between the pair of them, but you know, not a huge amount I could say wrong with that. I mean, Sasha there getting the move done up into P10 now. Both Shazoo drivers now inside the top 10, and it looks like Volokongan absolutely cruising away from Owen. Owen now under big pressure from Baki, and we just got on board with Owen as Owen was going off into the stands, I should say, there through Stowe, going off to say hello to all the fans here in Silverstone as Baki is all over the back of ETA Owen. You think on those soft tyres should potentially have a look now in towards Village. Does not want to risk it. Baki gonna play it smart, gonna play it safe. And in the chat right now, Finley saying, and Volokongan has won. Maybe, maybe not. There's still a lot of Silverstone yet to race. Lap 5 of 26. Volokongan does lead. 2.2 seconds is the gap. Baki all over the back of ET8's Owen for P2. And then, of course, right behind him, we got Lifeboat, who is essentially pushing Baki through the corner because Baki is getting held up by Owen right now. And look at this, Kigakowski there on the set of the hard compound tyres, doing very well, holding on to P5 and holding on to these guys in front. And it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen once these guys get through on Owen. Because Owen, we've seen a few mistakes creep in from Owen early on, especially in towards Stowe. So it's going to be interesting to see if anyone else is going to be able to mount a charge up towards Volokongan. But now Baki through up into P2. DRS assisted overtake there down in towards Stowe. Job done. And Owen not going to risk going back down the inside in towards Vale. He's going to sit in behind the TF10 driver for the time being. Let's see if Baki has the pace on those soft tyres to close in on Volokongan now. Lap 6 of 26. As Jamie in the chat also saying GG to Shazoo on P1. So I mean a lot a lot of calls saying that it's over, it's done now. Volakongan is going to go on to win this race, but remember guys, anything can happen in a motor race, and just one virtual safety car, one safety car and one penalty could change absolutely everything in the complexity of this race. As we got Eagle now down the inside in towards Brooklands, and he'll hold it around the outside of left field. Is he going to get the traction that he needs? It's still wheel to wheel, side by side as they exit now through a woodcut, and I think, yeah, Eagle now up ahead of Knuth CPI on a charge course. P2 in the championship standings right now is CPI, and looking to close in on Neverlast Racing, who have a pretty commanding lead at this point in the season, but there's still a lot of races to go and a lot of battling still to be had. As right now we're going to go on board with Lifeboat. Lifeboat has been let go by Owen. Owen has also been overtaken by Kegakowski as well, so Owen really struggling around this circuit, and I do not like the look of those clouds, guys. The clouds in the distance, I do not like the look of them. I have seen them many times before. They are the kind of clouds that make you put your wellies on. I'm just saying that right now. As we begin lap number 7, Lifeboat all over the back of Baki. As we got Troya in the chat, obviously saying now Baki's going to become a bit of a roadblock for these guys on the mediums, and yeah, potentially so. But at the end of the day, Baki with those soft tyres was able to get those positions and has every right to go for those positions and every right to do what he needs to do. And of course it didn't help with ET8 Owen going off into Stowe on several occasions as well. So I mean, Volakongan right now, he does have the lead. It's quite a considerable lead, but at the end of the day, we do know that the undercut can work very well here. At the same time, so can the overcut. So it's going to be an interesting one in terms of the strategy, what these guys do. These guys on the soft tyres, are they going to stretch it all the way to the mediums? Time will tell. Obviously, we've got the guys on mediums. They in a similar situation, but on the flip side, as Lifeboat here with DRS, going to be able to cruise across Baki into P2. And now let's see if Lifeboat has the pace to close in on Volakongan. 2.6 is the gap in this race. About to begin lap number 8 of 26. Volakongan leads, Lifeboat in second place, Baki in third, Kekakowski in fourth, Owen in fifth, Jesla in sixth, Igor in seventh, Johan in eighth, Knuth in ninth, and Sasha rounding out the top 10. And Knuth and Sasha both on the set of the soft compound tyre, so they'll be pitting at a similar time. And look at Sasha having a little look down the inside in towards Village. Oh, it's going to be close between the pair, and the game gave us a horrible angle there. Was that a little bit of contact with Krypton there? Krypton there, almost trying to go around the outside of Knuth. I think a little bit of contact between the pair of them, but fortunately they both managed to escape it without any considerable damage there. But look at this now, down the inside in towards Brooklands goes Krypton. And it should be, oh, it's so close as we go now into left field around the outside as we look at the side view of Krypton, and it's going to be job done there for the GL driver as he moves himself up into the top 10. Knuth goes down into P11. Oh, it's Skyny there going off track. That allows Henhide and Phil to go through there, so WR and IR team getting through on Skyny there, who goes off to do a little bit of sightseeing around this fantastic Silverstone circuit. As we got Kigakowski now. Oh, Kigakowski's closing in as Baki is closing in on Lifeboat. Here we go, around the outside goes Kigakowski and Stowe. This will be a fantastic move if he can pull it off, but I don't think he has, but he's still side by side in towards the Vale chicane as we go through now the club section. And now we're seeing Kegakowski on those hards start to put the pressure on. And Kegakowski's definitely looking at this thinking, okay, as this race goes on, I have the best chance of potentially closing on Volakongan here. I need to get myself ahead of the TF10 driver of Baki and of course ET8's Lifeboat here. As here goes Kegakowski again into the slipstream with DRS wide open, but Baki I think is going to be able to hold on to that P3 for the time being. And this is all going to spice up absolutely lovely. The gap now 2.8 seconds, 2.9 seconds as we go through left field here on lap number 9. Lifeboat in second place, Baki in third, Kikakowski in fourth. 3 different compounds of tyres on these 3 drivers. And right now, I think the hards are definitely the better tyre to be on at this moment in time, as we are getting a bit of a debate about the strategies of the tyres and everything in the chat as well, saying the medium strat isn't working because the hards are terrible. As Baki has a little peek down the inside in towards Stowe, doesn't want to commit to it as of yet. Kikakowski is more than happy just sitting behind for the time being. 2.7 is the gap, as we got Krypton here all over the back of Sasha here. So the battle for P9, as we have our first pit stop of the race going to Skyny here at the end of lap number 9 and the beginning of lap number 10. Skyny into the pits. Of course, we have had one car into the pits who's almost a lap down at this point, and that is IRTC. Currently in 20th place. They have to make 2 pit stops early on, and yeah, not a good race for IRT here tonight, as we're on board with Krypton, who is closing in on the back of Sasha, but Sasha also doing a good job to hold into this DRS train at the time of this right now, as Skyny is going to come out, and we're going to see what Skyny is going to be able to do, because Skyny right now could get a little bit of an undercut here, and with everyone battling for jockeying for position inside the top 10, Skyny could definitely take advantage of this and potentially make an undercut work for the TF10 driver, and maybe jump himself up several positions in this race. Lap number 10 of 26 is Volokongan in the lead, Lifeboat in second place, Baki in P3, Kikakowski in P4, Owen in P5, Jessa in P6, Igor in P7, Johan in P8, Sasha in P9, and Krypton rounding up the top 10. As Quartz gets through on Dar FIFA for P15, and of course what these guys do not want, they do not want to split in the train, as it looks like all of the soft runners apart from Baki are into the pits to change their tyres. So Sasha, Knuth and Dar FIFA into the pits at the end of lap number 10. As we begin lap number 11, we're going to go back up to the battle for P2, as Baki all over the back of Lifeboat here, trying to make an overtake work, but these tyres are beginning to fall away from the TF10 driver.
Hello Mike, can you hear me?
And ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by VJ. How are you doing, VJ? Welcome, welcome.
Hello. What have I missed, Mike?
Well, I mean, what we have missed so far is a big old scrap for P2. Volokongan now 3 seconds clear in this race, and we're just getting to the first round of pit stops now, as Sasha, Skyny, Darfifa and Knuth have all made their pit stops in the race. IRTC has had a bit of a poor race so far. He's had to make 2 pit stops in this race, which has dropped him almost a lap down from the rest of the field at this point.
Well, surely it was not ideal having a power cut right before the start of the race, but thank God it's now all resolved.
Oh,
I can join you.
Sorry to cut in. Kikakowski there, getting the move done on Baki, up into P3 now, goes to CPI man, and Baki now into the pit lane. And here's the question, how much time has he lost to Sasha, to Skyny, to Darfifa and Knuth by staying out that extra lap? Lap number 12 of 26, Volokongan leads, Lifeboat in second place, Kikakowski in P3. Do you have an invite to the session, or?
Yeah, I'm currently in the session, Mike, so I can spectate everything now.
Right, absolutely fantastic stuff, as Baki now leaves the pit lane. Sasha coming into the Vale Circane, as this is actually going to be quite close on the exit, I think, between Sasha and Baki here, as Baki is... Oh, he's just getting to that pit limiter right now as he comes up the hill. Should just about be ahead of the Ferrari, and yes, he does. He stays ahead, but will take a moment for his tyres to switch on here, and that could allow Sasha back within DRS range.
Yeah, right now Sasha at 1.4 seconds behind Baki. Let's see if Baki will take too long to cool his tires. Right now he's not in DRS range, but these are crucial corners for Sasha to try to make it in the 1 second gap that he needs to get DRS.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, Kikakowski now up into P2, gets the move done on Lifeboat there with DRS. Sapala getting through on Henhide as well for P10. And this is where we're going to start to see some of the pit stops begin to happen in this race. Some of the guys obviously coming in off their soft compound tyres, putting on a set of mediums. In the case of Baki, Sasha, Darth and Knuff, we've had an early pit stop from Skyny off the mediums onto a set of hard compound tyres. And this is where we're going to start to see the medium runners. We're going to see whether they are going to stretch it out to the softs or whether they're going to jump in right now for a set of the hards.
Yeah, there are two types of strategies for Silverstone. You can either go soft mediums or you can go soft hard also, and also medium hard. So three type of strategy. It looks to be that Volkangen is in the net race lead, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as it currently stands, Volkangen in the net race lead. Obviously 2.6, that gap is coming down between Kikakowski and Volkangen, which is of course what everyone in the chat was alluding to earlier. The hard tyres now starting to come into play for Kikakowski as he's managed to clear the traffic in front of him, and now he can go chasing after the Shazoo driver in the Scuderia Ferrari. Of course, as Volkangen 2.7 is the gap, and it is coming down as we got a lovely DRS train all the way down to P10 with Sapala. Henhide just outside that 1 second window on Sapala, so it's going to be hurting down the hangar straight for Henhide. Just not going to be able to close in on these guys up ahead as Phil and Sapala move up the order as Krypton is now into the pit lane. So first of the hard runners into the pits for Krypton, and we are seeing what's called Sasha did set the fastest lap moments ago, but used a lot of VRS, and now you're starting to see Baki with his tyres switched on begin to pull away from the Shazoo driver.
Also, let's not forget that this race is very, very important to CPI because Canute gets a 5-second speeding into the lane penalty, which will surely not help. Oh, he's retired.
And that's big. That's big for CPI.
Yeah, big for CPI.
That's huge for CPI and obviously ET8 as well. Because obviously they are second and third in the Teams Championship in here in Division 1. And Nevertheless Racing lead the way. They had a 50-point margin coming into tonight. And that gap now will definitely close as long as both their drivers can finish in the points and finish well.
Yeah, right now they are P2 and P7, which are good points, and currently NL are in the 9th position, so they will outscore for sure, by the looks of things, their title rivals.
Same with ET8 as well. ET8 currently in P3, P4.
Yeah, also very good points for them. Now we can see GL Johan, Igor pitting also, so they went for the undercut on their rivals.
This is going to be interesting to see where they come out relative to the likes of Sasha and Baki. Of course, Baki pitted a couple of laps earlier, and as did Sasha. Sasha has used a lot of VRS here. So, I mean, if Sasha does have these guys over the back of him, I don't think Sasha will be able to hold on for a long time with the lack of ERS versus the rest of the field. But I don't know, it's all about the pace, and will Sasha have the pace? Sasha will get ahead of the likes of Johan, Skyny, and obviously Krypton, etc., and will move up into, I believe this is I think this could be a net P5 for Sasha right now.
Yeah, I think we are seeing a big difference in strategy right now. There are people that have pitted way before, and there are people that still need to pit, which I assume they are going onto the soft tires, which they will surely last 10-11 laps. So it's great to see the strategy come into play, especially in the last part of the race.
Yeah, absolutely.
3 seconds for Igor.
Yeah, Igor there picking up a 3-second time penalty, not going to help CPI's cause. And we got Kikakowski into the pits early, so looking for the undercut on Volokongan. What I was going to say, I mean, it did look like Kikakowski there was 3.8 off the back of Volokongan. I wonder if that was just because slowing down to come into the pits, or whether or not a mistake was made by Kikakowski on the in-lap. But Volokongan now has a gap of 4.1 seconds to Lifeboat in second place. Seam currently in P3 for X Esports, but all yet to make a pit stop in this race. As now we're going to see what things are going to be shaping up like for the remainder of this race. Looks like Baki, Sasha are going to get ahead of Kikakowski, who has come out down behind his teammate Igor in P10.
I was spectating a bit the top two of K-Gut and Volokongan, and K-Gut was low on ERS while Volokongan was high. So when the gap was getting down, I think Volokongan then responded by using his battery, and obviously K-Gut he couldn't keep up with him since his battery was almost finished.
Well, I mean, now we're going to see, obviously, for those that can do mathematics by here, you can see the gap between Baki and Lifeboat is around 25 seconds. So Volokongan, sorry, not Lifeboat, Volokongan and Baki, about 25 seconds between the pair of them. Volokongan is into the pits, as is Lifeboat, as is Seam. And so we're going to go on board with Baki. Baki, the only man right now, I think, who has a chance to really challenge Volokongan, but on fresh sauce, you just got to imagine that Volokongan is just going to pull away again.
Yeah, let's see also where Volokongan is going to be on track. I think Baki will undercut him for sure.
Yep, guess ahead.
Yep, in fact he did. Now we have to see.
Oh, Sasha close and could potentially. I think Sasha's going to back out, not going to overtake Volokongan, because Volokongan has a great chance of taking the race win here. And if they work together, Team Shazoo could potentially be a 1-2 finish.
Yeah, and let's not forget that Sasha has served the qualifying ban. So he started right at the back, and currently he's P3, so in my opinion, I don't want to jinx anyone, but driver of the day right now.
Whoa, we still got 10 laps of racing to go. We can't be doing this just yet. VJ, as Johan is all over the back of Skyny here for P4. As we have Baki in the lead, 2.7 is the gap. Volokongan in second place on fresh soft tyres, going to be eaten into that time once those soft tyres switch on. Sasha currently in P3, looking to get towed along by his teammate Volokongan in this race. Skyny in P4, doing a good job for TF10, but under big pressure from Johan, the GL driver, in behind in P5. As you see that flash of red light there for Skyny, indicating he has less than 10%. And look at this now. Here comes Johan. He smelled blood in the water. He's going to go down the inside. And look, in behind is 3 wide. My God, Sepala, Igor, and I think Owen was in the mix there. And that is Igor down the order. My God, I just caught the on the rear wing of on Johan's car. That was that was risky. That was incredibly risky. These drivers now starting to throw caution to the wind, as I have low battery on my controller, which is not ideal. I do need to change controllers, but fortunately I do have my other controller right here at my desk with me, so I should be able to do a quick switcheroo in just a moment. Hopefully the battery will last for the remainder of the race, as Krypton and Skyny side by side coming through Brooklands now in towards left field. Krypton will have the inside line. In behind, you see Sepala and Kikakowski there doing battle for P7 in this race. Of course, Sepala there, the last remaining driver for Neverlast Racing, against CPI's Kikakowski.
Yeah, and there's a small not that small. There's a train from second right till 14th. Yeah. Which is going to be interesting.
Sepala is going to look to try and make this move on Skyny, he's going to try to hang it all the way around the outside of Stowe. Outbreaks the Alpine. Tries to hang it all the way around the outside. It's going to make this work. They're still wheel to wheel. They're still side by side. In behind, you're seeing the McLaren of that's Jesla having a look on the inside of Kigakowski as well in towards the Vale chicane. Does not work out for Jesla there, but yellow flags in the background, and I think that his lifeboat was taking a tumble down the order, so maybe a bit of contact there in the midfield. But my god, it's starting to get a bit frantic now for these positions. As look at this, Johan down the inside of Sasha in towards Village. This is fantastic stuff as we got Shazoo versus GL coming through the loop, and there's still wheel to wheel side by side coming into Entree now on to the Wellington Straight, but with no DRS. It's going to be difficult for Sasha, and look at that, Johan really blocking off the Shazoo driver as Krypton goes around the outside of Sasha. So he tried to avoid wheel to wheel contact there, a bit of lag there on Sasha's end, but look at this, Sapala is going to creep up down the inside of Sasha, and Sapala there, opportunistic, getting his way through.
Yeah, Sasha lost 3 positions there, so not a great lap for him. Obviously, the GL team worked together there. Johan defended attacked really, and defended really hard. Yeah.
Oh, look at this run from Kigakowski. Incredible run out of Chapel onto the Hanger Straight, but just does not have the ERS to really mount a chances. Look at that. Down the inside goes Sapala on Krypton here. Wheel to wheel once again as we run down in towards the Vale chicane. Gonna outbreak and try and hang it all the way around the outside. Will this be able to come off here for Sapala as he'll have the inside for Club and should get that move done. He does get the move done, but look at this, it's absolute pandemonium now in behind as Jesla now up in the P6. Kigakowski there getting a little bit boxed in, and I believe that was Sasha that went off track as well. As we went through Club, as look at this now, everyone's getting their elbows out to the absolute first. Jealousy down the inside of Krypton. They are wheel to wheel on the exit, as you can see Kigakowski there trying to find a way through as well. Owen in behind Kigakowski there for ET8, and that's an important battle that we could be looking at as well between ET8 and CPI here. But Sapala doing a fantastic job for Neverlast Racing as the lone survivor here, trying to minimise the points gain from CPI and ET8 here tonight with a P4 finish as it currently stands. But obviously that penalty will play a factor late into this race, and Owen there runs a little bit deep. What a switchback line there from Kigakowski through Cop's corner. Incredible stuff from the CPI esports man as he moves back into P7 there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really enjoying these battles because there are like 10 to 11 drivers all battling together at one point. Incredible stuff. Also, it's really clean, so
small bit of wheel-to-wheel contact here and there, but you know, we've not seen anything too drastically out of order as of yet.
Exactly.
Well, lap 21 of 26, Baki leads the way, but look at this now. Volakongan all over the back of Baki here, and I think we could be seeing an overtake for the race lead down in towards Brooklands here, as there is a AlphaTauri off of Kiki down there on the run down in towards the Vale chicane as Volakongan there takes the race lead away from Baki. But Baki, I mean, he could potentially come back at Volakongan as long as he can stick with him and stay within that DRS range.
Yeah, Volakongan has managed this race perfectly up until now, and also Baki, which has gained 5 positions. So for him to be battling for the race lead, it's really good for him, and he's all to play for.
Yep, as we got Sapala over the back of Johan here, and this is an important move for Sapala because there's no way he's going to be able to, stay in behind Johan and try and build that 3-second gap. But look at Jesla down the inside in towards Stowe, job done. But look at the switchback line there from Johan, very marginal there on the switchback line, but it's close. It is close to contact between Jesla and Johan, but Jesla does get through up into P4. Goes the ex-esports man, and this will be a good haul of points for Jesla and the ex-esports here. Obviously seeing it right now all the way down in 16th place, but in the DRS train as is pretty much most of the field. As Owen and Kwiatkowski wheel to wheel, side by side, bit of lag there. Hopefully these drivers are still able to see each other. No desync issues, hopefully, between the pair of them. It's still wheel to wheel, it's still side by side as they run down in towards Brooklands, and left field is Owen around the outside. Kwiatkowski will hold the inside for Brooklands, but now in towards left field, and there we go. Kwiatkowski holds it ahead of Owen here, but my God, the battling is fast and frantic here in the midfield.
Yeah. Also, Jesler right now is in a net P3, so love to see it.
We'll have no favoritism here, VJ. We'll have no favoritism.
Yeah, maybe someone is associated with the team. I don't know here.
We'll have no favoritism. We are impartial.
No.
As Jesler is trying to do his best to keep up with Sapala. Sapala trying to break away so he can try and not fall down the order that much with that 3-second time penalty. But with the way this train is right now, anyone that does have a penalty, you're losing a huge amount of points now in this race. And right now, Kwiatkowski is really pushing to try and get through on Krypton here. GL Esports currently with a P5, P6, which could turn into a P4, P5 as long as they stay within 3 seconds of Sapala. And it's definitely beginning to spice up, I think, the closing stages of this race.
Surely it is, yes. And you were mentioning about the disadvantages of a penalty. A 3 second can easily mean that you can lose up to 5 positions or more, since the train is all in the DRS range of. Basically, there is from P3 to P16 all in the DRS range.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think right now, obviously, I'm trying to do a quick math in my head. Sapala with a 3-second time penalty should, I think, drop down below IRT Phil. So that's a huge amount of positions lost for Sapala at this moment in time. Of course, anything can still happen. Lap 23 of 26. Volokongan is now 2 seconds ahead of Baki as we see a change for P3 as Jesler now up into the final podium position, proper on track, as Sapala is not going to be too happy about this. He needs to get back through on Jesler and try and get away to the best of his abilities, but with everyone in the DRS train, it's impossible to pull away, especially with the age of the soft tyres that Sapala is on right now.
Yeah, not sure it was smart from Jesler there, but if it was me, I would have stuck in behind him and recharged my battery, but I think Jesler thinks that he has more pace than Sapala, so let's see if he can manage to pull away from him.
Well, I mean, just an indication on the tyre compounds. Of course, Jesler is on 1 lap fresher, medium compound tyres to Sapala's soft compound tyres. Sapala on 9 lap old soft compound tyres, Jesler on 8 lap old medium compound tyres. And with that, it does mean that at this stage in the race, Jesler should technically have the grip advantage, but with DRS, it should still keep Sapala pretty close to the back of that McLaren. And it's just going to be about if Johan gets a good run now through Maggots, Beckers and Chapel. Will depend on if Sapala does lose out on a position here. And it's looking like a decent run from Johan, and there goes my controller. It has disconnected, so it did not last the entire race. But don't worry, guys, we got the second controller there ready and waiting. I come prepared. Apparently I had 3 batteries on that controller as well at the start of this race. I got absolutely lied to, I got hoodwinked, and it's just not good. But Johan there, unable to get the move done on Sapala, so we'll hold on to P5 for the time being. Kwiatkowski there, just getting a little bit caught off guard, I think, with these guys up ahead, and I think he's just trying to get his nose in there, but obviously he doesn't want to commit fully and potentially ruin his race as it currently stands. Lap 25 of 26. We are on the penultimate lap of the race. Volokongan has done incredible at the moment. He is out in the lead, 2.6 seconds a gap. Baki right now, well-deserved P2 finish as it currently stands. Obviously, has a 2.7 second gap to this battle for P3 with Jesler, Johan, Krypton, Kwiatkowski, who's in behind is looking at Owen and Phil banging side pods with each other, and Sasha's in the mix as well. Obviously, Phil if I'm Phil, I'm probably not fighting this too much. You're going to jump Owen anyway on penalties. This why ruin your racing now by battling it out? Because you could get an extra position with Sapala's penalty, but they're going to be wheel to wheel, and I think Owen's going to think better of it. Yes, he does. He thinks better of going side by side through Maggots and Beckett's, and now as we come through to exit Chapel onto the Hangar Street.
Yeah, after all, these are racing drivers, so they want to get done on the track.
Johan now side by side with Sapala in towards Stowe. This is an important move to make for Johan, and this could be costly now for Jezza, because now in behind him he has a car on similar worn tyres as himself. He only has 1 lap fresher, but with DRS, Johan could really put in a late charge for the final podium position. As we are on the final lap of this race, it is Volokongan leading the way, 2.5 seconds of the gap to Baki in P2, of course Baki for TF10. P3 right now is X Esports Jezza, but he's under big pressure from the GL Esports man in Johan, currently in P4. As GL looking for a podium in this race. Sapala currently in P5 with a time penalty, so definitely will drop down the order a few positions. Obviously, as Krypton, Kikakowski and Phil do not have a penalty to their name as of yet.
He got on Krypton right now.
Oh, they wheel to wheel. Kikakowski and Krypton. Looks like Krypton does have more battery available to him, but Kikakowski looking to try and get a final position gain. Of course, he will jump ahead of Sapala, but wants to jump ahead of Krypton as well. Obviously, to try and limit the amount of points that GL gain as well, because GL is on for a good result here. But as we're going to go on board, we won't go on board with Volokongan. We're going to look at this battle for P3, the final podium position. And look at Johan with the straight line speed, with DRS. He's going to go around the outside into Stowe, as Jessa's going to try and hold the inside there, wheel to wheel. As we come into the Vale chicane, Volokongan will come through the club section for the final 10 minutes race. Johan down the inside, job done there for GL, as Volokongan takes victory, as Jessa tried to get a switch back there on Johan, but did not work, and he almost loses out on track there to Sapala. But my god, there Volokongan takes the win. Baki in second place, Johan in third, Jessa comes through in fourth, Krypton in P5, Kikakowski in P6, Phil gets P7, Skyny up in the P8, Sapala drops down to P9 with that penalty. How heartbreaking it was for Sapala. Seam up in the P10, keeping it clean on the penalties. Good result there for X Esports. 2 drivers inside the top 10. Lifeboat and Owen. It looks so good for ET8 early on, but it's a P11 and P12 finish for ET8. Sasha there comes down in P13. Igor in 14th. Quats in 15th. FIFA and Henhide in 16th and 17th. And then we'll go through the remainder of the results. My god, that racing got extremely close and frantic at the end. But Sapala gets driver of the day, awarded by the in-game fans. And I'm not gonna lie, for me it's boring. It's boring, but one man just had the pace over absolutely everyone, and that was that man on the top step of the podium. Volokongan for Team Shazoo gets my driver of the day. Obviously, Vijay, I mean, you wasn't here for the entire race, but you've seen enough of that race at the end. Who was your driver of the day?
I'm going to be boring also as well. You couldn't argue with Volokongan's domination today. He looked very, very much prepared, and he knew what he was doing. And he was cruising really, so I have to give my vote also to him. But also well done to Baki and Johan that started from P7 and P11 respectively, so
okay,
very good result for them also.
Well, run you for the order one more time here. Shazoo Volokongan with the victory. Baki for TF10 in P2 with Johan for GL in P3 completing the podium. Outside the podium positions, we got Jessler in P4, Krypton in P5, Kikakowski in P6, Phil in P7, Skyny in P8, Sapala in P9, and Seam round out top 10. Outside the top 10, we got Lifeboat, Owen, Sasha, Igor, Quats, Darth FIFA, Henhide, Kiki, and Seeb. Now, only non-finisher was Knuff for Neverlast Racing. The fastest lap of the race does go to Hen Hyde, who finished down in 17th position. And Oh my God, that race did get incredibly frantic towards the end, but I mean, what a race that we were just in store for. That was absolutely fantastic, and I'm actually going to change the the host screen 2 seconds, obviously, to show yourself as well, VJ. But yeah, the action out on track, incredible between these guys. And do you have any thoughts and feelings about what we saw there? Do you think there'll be a lot of happy faces, a lot of angry faces when it comes to the stewards inside of things?
Yeah, I'm going to comment on the racing. It's been good for the past couple of races, so no huge incidents, very clean racing, very enjoyable also to watch. I hope that this goes all the way till the last race. We have very good drivers, very good teams, very good talent here, so it's been enjoyable up to this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we will do a quick reminder of what the standings look like coming into tonight. Of course, Neverlast Racing did lead the way by 51 points. I believe that gap has decreased slightly, of course, with Kekakowski outscoring Sepala and obviously both CPI drivers Roscoe finishing in the points. ETA potentially have just been jumped by GL Esports, so maybe there's a change for third place in the championship. X Esports, I don't think they've gained enough to jump ahead of ETA, but holding on to top 5 with TF10 chasing them down every step of the way. And that's a close battle between X Esports and TF10 in the midfield. GT10 currently in P7 with WOR in P8 on 90 points. IRT are being reeled in right now, I think, by Team Shazoo. So Shazoo, obviously, they joined for the first race last time out in Brazil. This is the second race. It is a victory for Team Shazoo and gets them on the board. Of course, next week we will be here at Silverstone once again for Division 2. But of course, for Division 1 action, we see the calendar right there. In a fortnight's time, we travel to the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix, and that is a circuit where there's not many overtaking opportunities. Strategy is going to be key, and there's always a threat of rain there at Hungary. So that is going to be a very intriguing race and an intriguing prospect to go to in a fortnight's time, VJ.
Exactly. Looking forward to it.
Yep, absolutely. But that is going to bring an end to the action here tonight. My name has been Michael Edwards. I have been joined in the commentary box by VJ. We will be back in a fortnight's time for more action as we head to the Hungaroring. Next week, of course, it will be Division 2's turn to go around the home of British Motorsport. But until then, guys, it is good night from me and it is good night from VJ. Good night.
They been on their ass, bitch, I'm on the rail. I wrap it, I bag it, I pack it for sale. Got feeling on speed out, hit me to chill. I give it a thrill, I put it on film. Niggas facade, get applaud, that ain't real. Come to my section and flex, we can tell. I got a show and she dipping them nails. I'm flipping my L's, I know they can tell. I did it too major, they hit me for favors. Been him since the cable was cut in the cradle. What's up, only right that I do it. Colossal until I'm a boss, so they want me to fail. Look, we prevail. Tell them to point out who said that they run it. Bitch, I'm on your tail. Know that they talking, they telling them tales. It's not how to tell, that shit for the sale.
Honestly, I know it's hard to believe, but you have to trust me. It's got maximum taste and zero sugar.
Stop playing games, wooden boy.
No, I'm a real boy.
Pepsi Max. Maximum taste, zero sugar. Try and believe.
What do you see here? Maybe history, or maybe it's the future.
Amarti mi consola. Amami ancora. Fallo dolcemente. Un anno e mezzo, un'ora.
Tonali plug-in hybrid, a new charge of sportiness.